Hello, guys. You're welcome to the AI Web Development course, and I'll be your instructor. To start with, I would like to put you through what web development entails. Web development basically means building websites and application simply by writing lines of code. And to achieve this, we need to understand that there's something we call front end development, and also there's something we call back end development. Before the adoption of AI into building or writing application, developers or programmers write codes literally by typing. And I would like to put you through the fundamentals of what make up a front end development. Front end development basically means the appearance, whatever it is you see that appears or appeal to you on the front end of a website constitute what we call front end development. And the technologies that is included are basically HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. We have CSS, which is Cascading Style Sheet, and JavaScript, which is used for some functionalities to integrate some functionalities. Let me walk you through how it is done traditionally. Let's visit W3 schools. Initially, if you are to program, you need to understand what HTML means. And as you can see here, you need to understand what editors, HTML basics, you get the elements, the attributes, and the likes. Then you need to come over to understand what styling means by using CSS, by using JavaScript to enhance some of the functionalities on the app. But now, with AI involved, we literally don't have to code line by line again because we can use AI to simply build in whatever app, application, or website we have to do. And before then, I would like to introduce you to what we call IDE, because when you have your code, you need to run them. So an IDE simply means an independent development environment. This is the background whereby you put in your codes in and you run them. It's more or less you're having the live version of your application, the working version of your application. So I'll be putting you through how you install. We have a lot of IDE. We have Virtual Code, Visual Studio. A Visual Studio is a popular one, so you can search Visual Studio Code on your browser. You click on it, and it picks up the operating system of your laptop, so you can download for Windows. So it's downloading already. After downloading it, then you have to install it. As it's downloading, I would like to walk you through how can we use AI to build games, websites, and web application. If you are following me deeply, you should ask me what is a website and how does it differentiate itself from a web application. Website is simply a site which has information through which you could learn about a product, a service. Say, for example, we search, let's search for a real estate website. To make things clear, this is taking our time. Let me back it up. Let me back it. So that site that we visited has a low loading time. As you can see, this one is coming up faster. This website has a faster loading time. So those are kind of the terminologies you need to be abreast of. You need to keep up learning. You need to keep on learning some terms. Loading time. So if I should ask you, is this a website or a web application? This is more than just a website. Why? Because with this, you'll be able to log in, you'll be able to sign up, you'll be able to check in some properties. Unlike you just having a simple landing page. Categorically, we can say a website is basically a landing page or a sales information page. Let me look for a service provider. A service provider like a catering or a lawyer. Say, for example, let's look for a lawyer website. A lawyer basically doesn't need you to sign up. All he cares for is that you are able to get information about his address, his office address, his phone number, and his contact us page. You can see here his phone number is here, his about us page is here. You can get to know some of his team. You can see information about his contact us. There's no login, no no login. There's no need for it having a login page or you having to sign up. This is basically a website. And this is called cookie. This pop-up here is called cookie. These are one of those terminologies or concepts you need to keep yourself abreast of. You need to keep yourself updated about. And, and this is basically a website because it's serving the purpose of giving you information about the respective website owner or service provider. And that's basically the differences we have between a website and a web app. Say, for example, jumia.com.ng is a web application because with it, you'll be able to view a lot of vendors. You'll be able to create accounts. You'll be able to have a shopping catalog, a shopping cart, remove your shopping cart, add to it. So those are the differences that we have. So now back to what we have. Keep in mind that we're about to install our VS Code, which I said earlier that it is an IDE, an independent development environment, whereby all our codes, be it the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript, are put together in, and we are compiling them. The IDE is serving the function of compiler. Basically, what compiler means is that compiler helps the machine, in this case our computer, to translate information from the human language into a machine language. And that's the machine language is the only language our computer understand better. Our computer understand zeros and one better, and our codes are written in human familiar language. So the work of the IDE is to help us compile our program, which has been written in whichever language we have put them in. So let's move further into what we have to do. We have a lot of now in this course, we will be learning how to use AI to build websites, web application, and also some games that we will be using or sharing with others. Because the beauty of what we are doing is to be able to help others build something, share value to others. And let me introduce you to what we call AI model. You are very familiar with ChatGPT, the popular one. You are familiar with DeepSeek. You are familiar with Cloud. You are familiar with Grok, and many more of them. How do we use this AI model to build applications or games? Let's visit or let's visit ChatGPT.com. I think you have. I'm assuming that you are having an account with ChatGPT. Let's simply use it to create a basic game. See, for example, you let's write a prompt. Now we're about to start writing the prompt. And basically, a prompt means lines of instructions that you are giving to your AI model to perform a particular task. And a good practice in prompt engineering is to give it a context, assign it to a task or a role so that you can have better output. Because the simplicity or the clearer your prompt enhances the output you get from out of your AI model. And I'm about to write a prompt. You are a world class programmer assigned to the role of building. What are we exactly building? A game. Let's start with a game. A game. What kind of game are we building? Should we say a tick? A game. Let's say a game. A multiplayer game. Let's make it a multiplayer game. A multiplayer game using a multiplayer game collection. So we can have more than one game using collection, having a leaderboard. That's the board there would serve the purpose of those who are topping or leading with points using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. Before we proceed, let's go back to let's see if our download is successful. Yeah, we've successfully been able to download the VS Code. So let's proceed with installation. So you click to install it. Okay. So let's enter this. Let's copy this prompt because I would like to see the performance of this compared to other AI models too. Let's copy this prompt. And one of this practice, one of my practice. Okay. Okay. So So it's giving you the text stack here. It's telling you the backend is recommending that it's going to use Node.js. So this is the architecture of the game. Okay, this is the theme. So let's continue with the installation of our IDE. Next, let's have a shortcut. Check this box to have a shortcut icon on your desktop. Next, or install. So the setup is preparing to install. Let's minimize this. Or can we not minimize it? So let's proceed. Okay, closing this page. So let's also use let's compare it to using DeepSeek. And also we have cloud. Let's use these three models. Let's compare the output. English. Let's start now. Okay, you have to sign up if you don't have an account. I'm gonna hide my password. I'm gonna hide my password. Okay, I don't have an account. Let me sign up. Choose yes. A code will be sent to your email address. I would suggest we try another method. Let's log in with Google. Seems the code wasn't sent. Let's try this option. Signing in with Google. And we continue. Okay, so we are in. Alright. So as I've copied the prompt earlier, so the same prompt, let's give it to it. So the same thing let's do for Claude too. Okay, the same prompt. As you can see, um, DeepSeek has started writing the code. It didn't go deeply into the planning, and that is one of the differences between this model compared to this model. So as you can see here, ChatGPT went deeply into the planning about design planning, the tech stack and the likes. So let me tell it to proceed or continue writing the code. As you can see here, so let's move to cloud. What is cloud saying? So the reason why we are comparing the output here is to be able to choose from the options we have. So if a model is not giving what you want, you can move to the other model. The most important thing is to achieve your set aside goal. So DeepSeek is cooking. I think it's complete. And the beautiful thing about DeepSeek is this: you can run this code here. You can run the code here. So this is the game it's made. So we can start playing the game. Okay, let's play the game. Okay, so this is the basic game it's made. Let's see what Cloud is creating. While we await what Cloud is creating, let's go back to our installation. It's finally installed. So let's finish this. Then we'll proceed to go and launch the IDE. Okay, let's see. So the IDE is being launched. So we can start by, let's get our code. See what, look at the interface compared to what DeepSeek had. I think this is quite better. Look at the better interface. Okay, this is a snake game. This is a memory match. This is a reflex test. So let's play this. Okay. Okay, you're playing with the computer here. Okay. So your hex beats the hole. So the hole has given you. Let's see. So the leaderboard is not here, right? Let's see the ball. So I think Claude has been able to give us a significant better. So let's talk Claude the name. Let's adjust or modify the code by telling it the name. We'll give it a name, and the leaderboard is not yet in action. So let's review the code. I modify the game, replace the with team. Or let's say Africa, Africa's card. Let's just give this name and put and record the points for each games respectively, and put a leaderboard. Let's see it in action. Let's test the snake. Okay, the snake is not working. Or what's happening? Okay, start. Okay, we're moving this left. Oh, okay. So adjustment has been made. Okay, I can see the adjustment has been made, has been modified. Okay, so we have this. So these are code. Can download it as HTML. So can open it up in the folder so you can copy each line of code. Okay, this is what we do. I'm going to go to my VS Code. Since I've downloaded the HTML code, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to name it Africa's Arcade. I'm going to put, let me save it in my document. Or better still, okay, let's leave it there. Okay, having done that, I'm going to create a new file. It's going to be called index because index is natively what you name, is what the web recognizes your HTML code as. So then create a new file, index. Okay, I'm going to name it. Okay, let me navigate towards where the document I save as Africa's Africa's. Okay, let me go back. Let me cancel this because we're meant to save. We're going to create a new file inside our folder. No, let us get that wrong. Let's find the folder. The folder should be inside our document here, if rightly created. As you can see, it's not here. So let's create the folder again. This is a shortcut to create a folder. We can give it the name Africa Hackard. Then we can save this. We can save this. So here's our folder. Inside our folder, we can create a new file. We can give it the name index. So inside our index, this is a code where we can put our code, our HTML code. So I should be able to import this code. Yeah. Or copy and paste it inside here. This is a file. You can open. Okay, you can open this up. So now we have this opened. So I can copy up this. Okay, copy this into our copy and paste it into our index. Okay, so now we have this in our index and we can run this locally on our PC. It's a pretty long. So we can run it. Without debugging. Let's start debugging. Let's continue. Let's run it in our web app on Chrome. As you can see, the HTML code I downloaded from cloud was able to launch. I was able to run it directly. So that means we are doing something. Let's disconnect this. So we should be able to run this too from here. And we're going to fix that now. Let's run this without debugging. Okay. HTML. Okay. This new file here. This new file here created here should have an extension. We can rename it index.html. So with that, our browser will be able to pick it up. So let's run this. So now we have the same game available now. So I would like to give you guys an assignment. I want you to create a game. The assignment is to create a game of your choice using using any of the AI model we've talked about, and sharing the we're supposed to host this game live actually, so that we can have a public code. I think we should do that now. We're supposed to host this game live so that others can be able to access it. How do we do that? That's where hosting comes in. And doing that, by hosting it, you'll be able to share the game with someone else. So let me put you through how we do that. We do that by basically having a repository of our code online. And you need to understand something called GitHub. GitHub is basically an online repository. You search github.com. You also have to create an account. You also have to create an account. You sign up if you don't have an account. Or you can continue with your Google. Okay. You can set your username for yourself. You can personalize it to suit your taste. It's okay. Your country. You can select Ghana if you're from Ghana. You can select Nigeria from Nigeria. You can select Liberia if you're from Liberia. So occasional product updates and announcement. You can check this box too if you like to. So you can tap the create button. Now you have a GitHub repository. You can play this first intro beginners video to have basic understanding of what GitHub is all about. It's simply this is a collaborators space whereby your code can be accessed, or you can invite others to work together on your code. It's a place for sharing or working together with your team partner, and also is a place whereby you store your code as repository, so that each commit you make, that each activity you make is being saved, and that's when we talk about commit. You are committing it, you are saving it up into your repository. So let's create our first repository, which is for our game, the Africa's arcade is available. If it's not available, you need to modify it. So the description is briefly, let's pick up the description from here. From is briefly a a board. Okay, so let's put that inside. Okay, then you want to choose the visibility. You can make it public or private. It depends. So you can leave this as public if you want others to have access to it. Because if your code base is accessible in public, people can fork it. That means they can copy it. So that's another terminology. So we are creating this as public. So you can add a README file to this as an optional for description. So we are creating our first repository. So the beauty part of this is from our VS Code, we can connect our VS Code to this. But we'll be doing that in our next class. But what we'll be doing here is as the code we download in HTML from Cloud Code, we are going to be importing it down here. We're going to be adding a file, creating a new file, and we're going to name it. We're going to name that file index.html, like you said, HTML, and we're going to and it's going to be in our main. Okay. So we can upload our file. So the file they want to upload, let's go and rename it as index.html because that's the is a web standard for identifying the root file in our line or in our code base or code file. So let's go ahead to rename this code as index.html. So having done that, we need to proceed to upload our file. Let's upload a file. So let's choose the file we want to upload. Okay, I think it's in our downloads, if I'm right. So we're gonna be uploading this. So whenever we make changes, it's gonna be committed. So let's commit these changes to the main branch. We can add a note to it. Let's commit this. So it has been committed. Oh, okay. We save it as okay. That means the extension HTML. That means by default. Okay. Is there a way we can let's view this. Maybe we can edit it. Let's delete this file. I'm gonna be deleting it. Commit changes. Let's commit these changes. Reason being that we should basically just rename it as index. because the extension we apply to it will serve as the name or will be identified as a name, which will serve as a barrier when we are trying to host it on GitHub. So we're going to be uploading the file again as index. We're going to be choosing this file and we are going to be selecting this so we can add a note, first version. Okay, commit to changes. So as you can see, the extension .html. So now, how do we host this on GitHub so that we can have a live link that we can share? So to do that, you have to come to this menu here, and or rather, let's close the menu. Let's come to the settings. I think from the settings, we should be able to navigate to pages because GitHub provides a free hosting for web pages. So on pages, you'll be able to deploy from a branch. You can select this. Source is from a branch. From the main branch, the root. Okay. So we can add a custom domain like www africanarcade.com if we have the domain name. But if you don't have, I'm gonna leave it like this and save it. Okay. By now we should have a link to this page. Okay. So go to pages. Let's go back to pages. So now to this is a link to our live game. So you can visit this. So this is our live game here. We hosted it. So you'll be sharing this link with me after you must have created your game. Your assignment is to create a game, your favorite game. You write the code using whichever AI model you choose, and you're going to be hosting it on GitHub and sharing us the live URL so we can see what each one of us have done. Let's proceed by cloning conversion tools. Let's clone, let's say, Word to PDF converter. So we can pick from any of these. So we can copy this URL and this another one too. So I'll write up the prompt. So I'm going to prompt. So I'll tell this here web developer expert assign the role to clone a functioning functional converter tools like the one we copied and the other one I'm referencing here using HTML, CSS, and Java scripts. So one more thing, I would like you guys to give it a brand name. Give the okay before this. Let's tell it to design. For now, you are a web developer expert. Let's say you are a professional. Let's modify this prompt. You're a professional web developer and a UI UX. UI UX is the designs, the interface, the user interface. They are the one responsible for that. Let's what branding should we give the website? Let's name it X Converter or X Convert. Or let's spice it. Let's name it something interesting. Let's suggest. Can you suggest a name or let's give it Google Convert. Google Convert. This is a brand name. So while we are waiting for the code, let's head over to our GitHub and create a new repository. Remember that your first assignment is to create your favorite game and share the live URL in the assignment. That's the first assignment. So we're going to create a new repository and name it Google Convert is available. So a description. Let's pick description. Let's name it functional converter to can you can either make your code visible to the public or private. But let's make this private since we have given it a brand. So you can add a readme file. So let's create our repository. So let's generate. Let's see. As you can see, Cloud is working on the front end design because of the way we prompted it. So we want the design, the front design, the interface to be unique, to be of quality. So it's taking of time. It's taking its time to design. Let's see. Instead of waiting, let's copy this prompt and head over to ChatGPT. Still building. Okay. ChatGPT is telling us to install codecs. This is what this is some of the things I'll be introducing to you in the next. Codecs is normal is a better is an AI coding IDE. Just like we have Virtual Studio, the one we installed. There's also Cloud Code. We'll be getting more of this in our next class. But we want it to bring out the code. Right, the code. Yeah, ChatGPT is giving us this a step-by-step development plan. So it's asking us if we were to follow this plan, it's going to generate it. Okay. So let's tell it to proceed. Let's tell ChatGPT to proceed. ChatGPT is telling that it's going to reproduce this using the structured format. There's one other tool I want to introduce us to, and it is called is an AI agent called then Spark. One of the differences between an AI agent and an LLM tool like ChatGPT, ChatGPT is an AI model, which is basically a large learning language model. An AI agent is an autonomous AI that does repetitive task autonomously. That it does it more or less. You are telling a robot to check the calendar for you, or and to book a ticket for you, a flight ticket for you, and it's giving you the response. So this is just Spark. So let's paste the same instruction here. You need to create an account. So let's see what Claude has done. As you can see, this is what Claude has done. It's a one page. Let's proceed. Okay. Now this is the code we have, which is okay. It has a good user interface and it's a one page. That's good. It has an image conversion, PDF conversion, text to PDF, and also Markdown to HTML. Okay, the audio version conversion is not included. And if you like this restructured into HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a different logo mark, just say the word. So if we download this page and use directly into our GitHub, we may have issues because let's ask it. Let me ask it. Can this code be hosted on GitHub? Yes, it is 100% statics in one file. Okay. If we don't split these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one file into these separate files, so that in the repo, our GitHub pages will be able to identify the index.html. We may have issues like sites not found. So to avoid that, let's split it up. So it has split it up and we can download this. So let's download this. So let's go to our download. So get our file. We can is a zip file, so we can put this into. Let's create a folder to unzip our to unzip. Let's name it Google host, Google convert, Google convert, and let's move the file. This file, let's move it into our document file, to our document folder. So it's in our document folder. Let's look for a file. So let's cut this and put into the Google convert. So why am I making this? So now we can unzip this file to extract. Let's extract it into this directory. Okay, it's done. So we're gonna extract all the into Google host, Google convert. So now we have it here. So let's delete this folder here. It's of no use. So this is what we're gonna upload into the repo, into the GitHub repo. So let's go to the GitHub. Navigate to our repository, create a new repository. Let's name it Google Convert. So let's give the description. Building Google Convert. So we're building Google Convert. Google Convert file converter. Let's make it public. Let's create the repository. Having done this, we can upload an existing file since we have. Let's choose the files. Okay, directly here. So we're going to select the. Let's select all. Select. You can hold your control and tap on the files one after the other. So we have the four. Let's open. Okay, it's uploaded. Yeah, so the four files now are in our repo. So we can commit these changes. We're good to go. Now that we've done that, let's head over to our settings, then our page, then let's select the main branch, the root, let's save it. It takes a couple of 1 or 2 minutes for this to be deployed. We can set up a pre-build faster so we don't have to wait. But let's just go back. It should have been done right now. Our page is not still yet available. Let's head back. Okay, it's now available. So this is our link. Let's visit our link. So now we have been able to host our converter tool. So you can test it, and our assignment is for you to create or clone an existing, could be a conversion tool, it a could be a thumbnail downloader, it could be any of this conversion tool. You can convert it now that you know how to do it. Then you create the code and make sure that you make sure that the code are splitted into this index style script format, so that it's easy for GitHub to easily recognize where your index.html is. So that you don't have error when you are deploying it with your GitHub pages. Having said that, let's go back to our GitHub. So you're gonna create, this is the second assignment. You're gonna clone a website, preferably a conversion tool, and or any website. You're gonna clone it, then you host it on GitHub page and share your live URL. So you have two assignments.